14 hidden cars Michael Jackson collected that still leave fans guessing. A Rolls-Royce dripping in 24-karat gold, a working fire truck worth $450,000, and an electric horse-drawn carriage with a built-in CD player. Michael Jackson spent decades hiding some of the wildest vehicles on the planet inside his 3,000-acre Neverland Ranch, and almost nobody ever saw them. These are 14 hidden cars the King of Pop collected that still leave fans guessing. Number 14. The 1988 GMC Jimmy High Sierra Classic. So we are starting with a car that makes absolutely zero sense. Michael Jackson, the man who sold over 66 million copies of Thriller, the man who moonwalked in front of 1 billion people on live TV, owned a 1988 GMC Jimmy. Under the hood sat a 5.7-liter V8 engine pushing out 210 horsepower through a 4-speed automatic transmission. Original sticker price straight from the factory? Just $14,742. That is the kind of truck your neighbor drove to the hardware store on weekends. And Michael, the biggest pop star on the planet, bought one and parked it at Neverland. Nobody ever spotted him driving this thing on public roads. It just sat on the ranch while cars worth 20 times more collected dust right next to it. The best explanation anyone came up with? Michael loved big heavy machines. He liked how they felt on the road. And for a man who spent every second of his life getting chased by cameras, driving something invisible probably sounded like heaven. Every single car on this list gets stranger. Number 13. The 1909 D-Tamble Model B Roadster replica. Now we are jumping back over 100 years. Michael tracked down the blueprints for a 1909 D-Tamble Model B Roadster, a car so ancient that the original versions vanished from the planet decades ago. Finding a real one would take nothing short of a miracle. So, he paid someone to build a custom replica from the ground up. The result? An open-air four-wheeler with a small internal combustion engine. No roof, no windshield, no seatbelts, and absolutely no chance of ever touching a public road. This thing was not street legal in any state, and that was perfectly fine with Michael, because this car never left Neverland. He would cruise it past his own zoo, past a Ferris wheel, past a train station, rolling through the property like a man living inside a time machine. This car told you everything about how Michael collected. He never cared about speed or horsepower. He cared about the feeling. And what nobody expected was that the next car tells a completely different story. Number 12. The Cadillac Escalade Fleet. Now, every car on this list so far stayed hidden inside Neverland, but the Escalade was different. This was a car the world actually saw Michael riding in during the final years of his life. He owned not just one, but a whole fleet of chauffeur-driven Cadillac Escalades. Every single one came blacked out with heavy tinted windows so nobody could peek inside. The Escalade ran on a 6.2-liter V8 engine putting out 403 horsepower, weighed over 5,600 pounds, and stood tall enough to block out paparazzi from every angle. Michael used these SUVs whenever he left the ranch. His drivers would pull up, shield him with an umbrella, and rush him into the back seat. And these Escalades even made news on their own. In April 2009, just 2 months before Michael passed away, one of his Escalades sideswiped an ambulance outside Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Beverly Hills, while paparazzi chased the vehicle through the parking lot. The medic on scene said the driver jumped out, grabbed an umbrella, walked inside to meet Michael, and then they both sped off. That is the kind of chaos that followed Michael's cars everywhere they went. Number 11. The 1988 Lincoln Town Car Limousine. You would expect Michael Jackson to ride around in the loudest, flashiest limousine on the planet, and sometimes he did. But this one told a quieter story. His 1988 Lincoln Town Car ran on a 5.0-liter, 302 cubic inch V8 engine with multiple port fuel injection. Inside, gray leather seats lined the cabin alongside walnut paneling on the doors and a fabric ceiling overhead. No gold, no crystal, Just clean, classic American luxury that let the man breathe without the spotlight burning through the windows. Michael used this limo for events when he wanted comfort over spectacle. After he passed away in 2009, an anonymous bidder grabbed the car at auction and disappeared with it. Reports say the new owner preserved the limo in perfect condition somewhere completely off the radar, which meant one of Michael's personal rides just slipped into the dark without a trace. And that is when this list shifts from unusual cars into truly wild ones. Number 10. The 1993 Ford Ecoline E150 van. From the outside, this vehicle looked like something a cable repair company would send to your house. White paint, no markings, completely forgettable. But the inside told a different story. Michael had every inch of it ripped out and rebuilt to his exact taste. High-end leather covered every surface. A television screen sat mounted facing the passengers. A full video game console lived in the back. The original sticker price in 1993 came in around $15,000. But by the time Michael finished the custom work, the van carried an auction estimate of over $31,000. And this van became his secret weapon for traveling through cities without getting mobbed. Because who on earth would look twice at a plain white Ford van sitting in traffic? Nobody. And that was the whole point. Michael could pass through entire neighborhoods completely invisible while playing video games in the back seat like a kid on summer break. The game console ended up in a museum after his death. The van ended up at auction. But none of that compares to what comes at number 9. Number 9. The electrified horse-drawn carriage. Okay, stop and really process what you are about to hear. Michael Jackson owned a horse-drawn carriage that ran on electricity. Not a car, not a truck, a carriage. The Montana Carriage Company built it to its exact specifications, and the finished product came loaded with a CD player, a full sound system, interior lighting, and a Neverland Valley decal stamped on both sides. The exterior shined in sparkling black paint. Red leather seats lined the covered cabin, and the electric motor moved the whole thing smooth and silent across the ranch. Michael used this carriage to get paraded around Neverland like a king touring his own kingdom, rolling past the Ferris wheel, past the animal enclosures, past the gardens. It sold at Julian's auctions in 2009 for around $10,000, part of the estate sale that tried to cover his $500 million in debt. Whoever grabbed it now owns one of the most unusual pieces of music history ever put on wheels. And the man who built that carriage also built something even crazier. Number 8. The 1986 GMC High Sierra 3500 fire truck. Michael Jackson owned a working fire truck, a real one, and it cost a fortune. He took a 1986 GMC High Sierra 3500, painted it bright red with gold trim, and converted it into a fully functional emergency vehicle with working hoses, a water tank, flashing red lights, and his MJ logo stamped on the body. The words, Neverland Fire Department, ran across the side in big bold letters. Why a fire truck? Because of Peter Pan. Michael's connection to that story ran so deep that he named his entire 3,000-acre ranch after it. He filled the property with rides, animals, trains, and pure fantasy. And a big red fire truck fit perfectly inside that world. It was the kind of thing a 7-year-old would beg to sit in at a county fair. And Michael turned that childhood dream into his everyday life. After his death, the fire truck reportedly sold at auction for around $450,000, which made it one of the single most expensive vehicles in his entire collection. But that is still not the strangest Peter Pan vehicle Michael ever owned. Number 7. The Peter Pan Custom Golf Cart. This one might be the single weirdest vehicle on the entire list, and that is saying a lot considering the fire truck and the electric carriage. Michael had a custom black electric golf cart built with a full painting of himself dressed as Peter Pan right on the hood. Green tunic. Flying pose. The complete look stretched across the front of the cart for everyone at Neverland to see. And he drove this thing every single day. From the train station to the Ferris wheel, from the zoo to the main house, this little cart carried the king of pop across his property like a personal throne on wheels. Staff members recognized the hum of it coming from a distance. At Julian's auctions in 2009, the golf cart sold for between $4,000 and $6,000. That sounds like pocket change for something tied to the biggest pop star who ever lived, But the window this card opens into how Michael saw himself, that part holds more weight than any dollar amount. And that is when we shift from the strange vehicles into the ones carrying real history. Number 6. The 1985 Mercedes-Benz 500 SEL. This car stayed with Michael longer than almost anything else he ever owned, and it came with a moment most fans have never heard about. He picked up the 500 SEL in 1985 and drove it himself between his home in Encino and the Los Angeles recording studios. The car was never officially built for the American market, which made it a collector's piece on U.S. roads from day one. When Michael moved to Neverland Ranch in the early 90s, the Mercedes came along with him. And then came one of the wildest moments in pop culture car history. Photographers caught Michael riding in the passenger seat while Madonna sat behind the wheel. Two of the biggest music stars alive cruising through California in a German luxury sedan on a random afternoon. Nobody planned for that photo, and it became one of the most talked about car moments in entertainment history. Later in life, Michael gave the car to his aunt as a birthday gift. After his death, it was sold at Julian's Music Icons auction for $100,000. Number 5. The 1990 Rolls-Royce Silver Spur 2. Michael collected Rolls-Royces the way most people collect shoes, and this one carried serious history. The 1990 Silver Spur 2 ran on a massive 6.75-liter V8 engine paired with a 4-speed automatic transmission. The base price for a standard model in 1990 sat under $70,000. Inside Michael's version, white and black leather seats filled the cabin. Curtains draped the tinted windows, and a full-service bar occupied the back, stocked and ready for anything. And this particular car stood apart from every other Rolls-Royce on the road. It was the first production model to feature a retractable Spirit of Ecstasy hood emblem, and it rolled off the assembly line as one of the last genuine British-built Rolls-Royces before BMW took control of the brand in 1998. When this car pulled up to a red carpet event, the crowd already knew exactly who sat inside before the door even cracked open. Number 4. The 1997 Neoplan Touring Coach. When Michael went on tour, he did not sleep on a regular bus. He slept inside a rolling palace that he designed himself. His 1997 Neoplan Touring Coach featured leather sofas, individual booths, an en-suite bedroom, and a carpet with a king's crown stitched into the floor. The bathroom alone had porcelain walls, granite countertops, and gold-plated fixtures that belonged in a 5-star hotel. The entire bus carried a value upwards of $300,000. This coach traveled with him during the History World Tour in the late 1990s, one of the biggest concert runs of the decade. Night after night, Michael performed for tens of thousands of screaming fans, walked off stage drenched in sweat, and stepped directly into this mobile kingdom to sleep, reset, and prepare for the next city. And that is when we enter the top 3, where every car carries a secret. Number 3. The Dodge Viper Mini Car. You would expect the king of pop to own a real Dodge Viper. Instead, he went a completely different direction. In the late 1990s, Michael commissioned a one-of-a-kind miniature version of the Dodge Viper GTS, built exclusively for his young son, Prince Michael. The car sat at roughly one-third the size of the original, small enough for a child to climb in and cruise around the ranch. Now, the real Dodge Viper GTS packed an 8.0-liter V10 engine with 450 horsepower. Michael's mini version obviously did not match those numbers, but it copied every single design detail perfectly. Same aggressive body lines, same wide stance, same look that made the real Viper one of the most feared sports cars of the 1990s, all packed into a ride built for a little boy. Almost no photos of this mini car exist anywhere, and the exact specs never reached the public. Most fans have never even heard of this vehicle, which makes it one of the rarest items from Michael's entire collection. Number 2. The 1954 Cadillac Fleetwood. This car did not just sit in Michael's garage, it sat inside Hollywood history. His 1954 Cadillac Fleetwood was the exact vehicle used in the 1989 Academy Award-winning film Driving Miss Daisy, starring Morgan Freeman and Jessica Tandy. The movie took home 4 Oscars, including Best Picture. Under the hood, the Fleetwood packed a 331 cubic inch V8 engine pumping out 230 horsepower through an automatic transmission. The wheelbase stretched 133 inches, giving the car a smooth, commanding ride. Michael loved that film. The story followed an unlikely friendship between two people from completely different worlds, and that theme hit close to home for him. So he tracked down the actual movie car and bought it for his personal collection. And one more detail that connects this car to pop culture royalty in a completely different way. Michael's former father-in-law, Elvis Presley, also owned an older model Cadillac Fleetwood. Two of the biggest entertainers in human history, tied together by a car brand. Vintage Fleetwoods today sell for anywhere between $9,000 and $275,000, depending on condition. But this one, with its Oscar-winning history and direct connection to Michael, belongs in a class all by itself. Number 1. The 1999 Rolls-Royce Silver Seraph. And now, the car that is at the very top. Only 1,570 Rolls-Royce Silver Seraphs ever rolled off the production line worldwide. But Michael's version existed as the only one of its kind on the planet because he personally designed every inch of the interior. And when we say designed, we mean the man went completely overboard. The entire cabin dripped in 24-karat gold and crystals, all inspired by the Palace of Versailles in France. Every surface, every panel, every last detail inside that car screamed royalty at a level most people only see inside history books. Under the hood, a 5.4-liter aluminum V12 engine kicked out 322 horsepower and launched the car from 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. The original auction starting bid sat between $140,000 and $160,000. But once experts examined that one-of-a-kind gold interior up close, they called the entire vehicle priceless. It landed on the auction schedule for April 2009, just 2 months before Michael died on June 25th. A legal fight with Julian's Auctions shut the entire sale down, and the car never reached the public. Where it sits right now, nobody has a confirmed answer. And that right there captures the entire mystery of Michael Jackson's car collection. Even the machines he rode around in carry secrets, unanswered questions, and stories that fans are still chasing down years after his death. From a gold-covered Rolls-Royce to a Peter Pan golf cart, Michael's garage told a story his music never could. Click the video on screen for more, and subscribe so you can catch the next one.